Welcome, everyone. Today, we launch our International Women's Month conversation series with Neema Namadamu, founder of Hero Women Rising. This month, we are celebrating intergenerational leadership, women, young women who are rising to carry that work forward. Today, we begin our International Women's Month conversation series with a woman whose leadership has created pathways for women and girls across the globe. Neema Namadamu is the founder of Hero Women Rising, and her work reminds us that when women rise, entire generations globally rise with them. Neema, thank you for joining us and helping us launch this month of conversations. Before we begin the conversation, I want to bring Neema in the room. I would love for her to introduce herself to everyone joining us today and share a little about the work and vision behind Hero Women Rising.
Thank you for welcoming me.
Neema, I would love if you could introduce yourself to share a little bit more about the work and the vision behind Hero Women Rising.
Oh, thank you so much. My name is Neema Namadamu. I'm the founder of Hero Women Rising. That Hero Women Rising mean these organizations and lifting women, giving them. We are like building bridge between next generation. That is the vision of Hero Women Rising. Thank you so much for asking me that question.
Neema, I am excited to be in conversation with you today. I have known you for many, many years, and I always find time with you to be incredibly insightful. And so I would like to start at the beginning. Let's talk about the moment in your life when you realized women's voices must be heard and that this is what you wanted to dedicate your life to this work.
Wow, that is amazing question. To hold my life or to raise a women voice is in my personal experience also. When I raise voice, when I know where I'm looking for, I can't let people goes out. I really instead I can't give up. I always give up. I always demanding a request, and I say I can be heeded. And sometimes when my voice is not heard, I can be troublemaker. That is my option where I have, because I don't have other option. But I'm like a mosquito in a room. It doesn't let people relax. It
Mm.
can be sometimes you don't have audience or you have it, but I don't give up. I continue to insist. I continue to request, because until when my voice is heard, because my voice matter, and also my women voice matter. That is my purpose, and is why I bring this Her Women Rising to life, because I'm not alone, because I move around to see how women uh, problems or women wanting, and is not easy to be hated, because it's always pushed by the culture, by religion, by the system. But we rise, the women everywhere you are. You can have education, you cannot have education, you can be white, you can be black, you can be with a disability, you can be young, you can be old, but we need our voice to be heard. Is why today, from all time I working on a voice, and sometimes we don't have other things, but where we have as women, we have that voice and the wisdom. Is why we wanted to put that wisdom and the voice together, to be hidden and to be working and to make things right. Because when women they are in actions, the change happening. When women walking, the change is ready to be happening. And this time You can want or no, women they are driving, women they are driving the change. That is how I can answer that question, because this is beginning. This is my calling to
Mhm.
know how young generation or myself. Yes, I'm not young, no more young, but from a beginning, I always having, if you spoke, if you talk about yourself, it's like when you are sick, you are looking at doctors. If you don't talk about where you are feeling, no one who gives you solution, but the
Mhm.
women voice bring the solution. That
Mhm.
is why please talk and bring your voice together, and we will make sure the women have the answer, the women have a solution. We wanted to talk also to our decision makers. That is why women always have a solution, and women voice matter. That is where I can answer that question. Thank you so much.
Yeah, Nema, when you first started Hero Women Rising, and even before you started the official organization, your acute focus was the Democratic Republic of Congo. And Hero Women Rising has grown into a global movement since. But when people outside of the DRC hear about the region, they often only hear one story. And I think you're really familiar with bringing a different voice to that story because you are bringing your voice, a woman's voice, to that story. What does the world miss in hearing the other stories about the DRC? What does the world miss about the women and communities that you are working with every day?
Okay, what is your good question is, what is the globally or world missing about hearing about Congo?
Yeah, what
There,
are they missing hearing about the women of the DRC?
the missing many voices, thousands and thousands of women and girls who are talking, who are demanding, who are looking for right, for justice, for making the action. That is the world missing. Missing, they have only one story, one part. They don't turn the page to look whole books.
Mhm,
When you have all DRC, you have a flag and you have government, but they don't turn the page to see the different viewing, different people, different decision maker, different leaders, different women who make decision, who lives in the community. That is where globally world missing to listening to different voice from Congo. That is really missing. That is a good question, because when you are listening to one side and the other side, you can't take or make decision in a good way, because you didn't listening both side. Is why when you have a book, you can maybe read about somebody, the author of about the book, but inside, why the content of that book or that stories or that movie is that they are missing globally. They're missing the wisdom, women wisdom, and the young leaders and everyone. Is why really is an example when you see, for example, American United States of America or European Union, when you see how everything is going on on order with young generation, with kid, with old people, with everyone in the community. In the community doesn't only, you can't have like that government, it doesn't have roots. And
mhm,
the women, their roots. The
mhm.
women, they are root for community, for nations, and those voices they are missing in the DRC.
Yeah, and you've spent years building spaces for women to lead, in the DRC, but also globally with women, being able to bring women together globally to support the efforts of Hero Women Rising. And when you talked about contents, right? Like the contents that are within a woman, the wisdom, different things that women bring to the table as women leaders. what quality do you see that young women leaders need most right now?
The young women right now, we are really, it's kind of new generation is coming, Gen Z and Alpha. You know, the Gen Z and the Alpha. I write it like a little article about the Gen Z and Alpha. Is a kind of the world globally where they are missing or where we are calling to do that, because now we already planting the seed as women, as movement like Mama Shuja or Her Women Rising is already planting seed. When I'm sitting on my office, you see hundreds girls, thousands girls, and some they are becoming doctors, the other they are coming lawyers, the other they are coming nurses, the other they are coming journalists, the other technology using this. That is where they are not, we are trying to build that bridge between the generation, between intergeneration, and really and more I was telling people and telling the world globally, say you can like or no, the change is ready, the change is now, this Gen Z generation and Alpha, they are taking action. Is really, we did a good job, we did a great job, and I'm calling everyone to this one movement to say, women, it's time to take action. And
Mhm,
now we can't take that action as elders. We are here to advise young generation, from Gen Z to Alpha. You know, that's Gen Z is inspiring Alpha, and the Alpha is just the beginning. And the
mhm,
people, if they don't have, they don't opening mind and the big consciences, things is change. And sometimes the system globally, they don't like a change. It's men people, they don't, they think, oh, they are women, they are only talking, they are only writing. But this time is writing and make also actions. That
mhm,
is where globally we are doing, and is where Hero Women Rising is doing, because we are building this bridge between next generation and us. Is
mhm,
why really, sometimes when I'm talking to these young people, these young women, I always say, please get education, be competitive. This is your opportunity, this is your time.
mhm,
Because when you miss the time, no, it cannot be back, because what is going so fast. Is
mhm.
why the new generation, you be ready, and you are ready for making actions and bringing your voice and rising together, and be ready for the change, be ready to be leader, leading, driving this globally movement for Women Rising. We want to really to be all together, we can do the big change. Thank you so much for asking me that question.
Absolutely, Nema. The work that you have done over decades has been that, right? And I love that you gave us that call to action for young women leaders, to take action, to be willing to get in there and do what we say we want to do, and see the change that we want to see by doing the work. Talking about is great, writing about it is great, but actually taking actions. I love that you gave us that call to action, because it makes me think of the wonderful young women leaders that Hero Women Rising is recognizing in this conversation series this month. So, this month, Hero Women Rising is recognizing young global leaders like Sydney Stern, who is in policy and advocacy, Alita Cuera, who is in education and STEM, and then Miriam Inseconcia, who is in health innovation, right? And so they already are representing a generation that is stepping forward. And Hero Women Rising is really pushing to ensure that the supporters that we have in our movement recognize that there are young women who are, you have blazed a path wide open for us, Neema. And these young women are storming down that path and taking those actions, listening to their own generation and going after what their generation wants to see. So when you see young women leading in these ways, what does that mean to you as someone who created the pathway for them to come forward? What does that mean when you think about the fact that you blaze this path and you see all these young women that are coming right behind you? How does that feel?
Oh my goodness, I feel blessed. First of all, like that young lady listening, I know her when she was on the secondary school. She came with her mom on my conference, and we did like a lobbying on a State Department in Washington D.C. And I was see how young ladies they are talking about everything from Congo globally. She was interested to learn more and more. And I told them, don't be tired, you young ladies. Because when I went this one time, I traveled to South Korea about Seoul. I've been there twice talking about women issues, comfort women's. That issues from Second World War because the Japanese government used abusing women in South Korea. Until today, no apologize. But
Wow.
yes, that is a big deal. And when I see Second Ziza, Miriam, when I talk to her, when I was moving around the world, I meet her. She's a woman, she's a young lady. She was working in the community to help people to have clean water. And when I talk to her, I saw amazing women. They are working, they are having already education. And I say, wow, look at this woman. And other one, she's from Tanzania, she's from Tanzania, and I say, oh, this girl who are university from so far, Elita Mkwera, she's from Tanzania, and one of these girls, she's doing university and she's doing volunteering about her women rising on those three girls, and you see where they did, and I'm feeling so blessed, and they can inspire others. It's like a chain. It's a cycle. It's going like this, and this young generation, this Gen Z generation, they are going to inspire Alpha, like you, my dear Ariana. You are a young woman, and you have this young generation. You are raising Alpha generation, and
Mhm,
that is really. I'm feeling blessed, and I say I did. And I'm feeling proud. And I say, don't be tired. Please come. I pour them. And me also, I have other women who inspire me. The
mhm,
decision maker who pouring me. Say, Neema, come. Where is your problem? Tell us your difficulty. How we can work with you. I'm with this week. I will be in Washington D.C. to be with women, Congress women. We are going to talk. We are going to have a conversation. That mean it's globally. It's not only in Congo. The difficulty women have, or young generation, or us as elders, but it's not today. It doesn't happen today. Is processing. Is why from beginning I will never be tired because I see other young people, young
mhm,
generation, young leaders, they are coming, emerging. And I was telling, sometimes I can say, oh, my dear sisters, maybe one day you will be ambassadors, you will be president, you will be such and such. And that I'll be saying, I did. And I don't blame myself. I'll be happy when I'm sleeping on my eternal bed. That I will be happy. I'm not blaming myself. That is my purpose, to continue to work with, to see this. How I'm not preaching on a desert, but it's like I'm preaching on a choir.
mm,
That is where I see, like you and the other people, look at this technology we are doing. This is you, young generation, are doing this. But me, I don't know anything, but I'm giving only my
Well,
voice.
Neema, I think you knew and have known enough to imagine a future for us, right? You
Yes.
have been willing to offer us your imagination. You have offered the women of the DRC your imagination in dreaming what a different experience could be like for them if they had access to technology, to businesses, to being able to support their families and grow their own food and rice, and and for the three young ladies that we honor this month, your imagination created a possibility for them to be able to have the opportunities that they're having and to be recognized. And so when you think about that, and you imagine from this point forward, right, from where we are today, when you imagine the future that is being shaped by the next generation of leaders, what kind of world are you hoping that these three young ladies and all of their transformational peers, what kind of world are you hoping that they will build?
Oh, they will build the better world. That is there where they will build. And I think with technology, with whole globally, is only this is like a champions. It's like we show only cases, but they are like 3 million girls now. We have like 40 often they have already education. We have 11 already graduates universities, the
Mhm.
young doctors and the young lawyers. I really, where I'm saying tomorrow, I see better life. I see people who taking responsibility, people who say, this is my right, this is my, they can demanding for justice, they can make action. That is where I see the better world. I see somebody who understand when he have like difficult, who looking for solution. I'm always looking for solution, and I see these young ladies, they are on the way for solutions.
Well, thank you so much for the solutions that you have brought to us. And we are excited this month to honor these three young global solutionists. Throughout this month, we will continue lifting the voices of young women leaders who are shaping the future across policy, science, education, health. And for all of those out there listening, watching today, we invite you to follow Hero Women Rising, to share these conversations with these young global leaders, and to support the women and girls whose lives are being transformed every day. Thank you, Neema, so much for opening this series with us.
Thank you, my dear sister. I wish you, I think this is just the beginning, and I wish these young ladies and everyone that they are watching from everywhere, from globally, they are watching as Mama Shuja Hero Women Rising. I invite everyone, young girls, new generation, Gen Z and the Alpha, to be with us. This is we are taking so far, and we are going to bring solution for everyone. And really, I can say I love you guys, and I'll miss you. Mwah! Everyone, I said I love you. Ciao.
Miti na kujitegemea kwa mwanamke, kukata na kushona nguo kwa mwanamke, kufundisha mashine ya kimambo.